Imagine spending lakhs of rupees on executive health checkups, buying premium health insurance, exercising regularly, choosing organic food, and yet quietly overlooking one nutrient that determines how well you age. Not because it's expensive, not because it's difficult to obtain, but simply because most of us associate it with gyms and bodybuilding. That nutrient is protein. The reality is, protein isn't bodybuilding nutrition, it is healthy aging nutrition. And there is one fascinating question which always conjures lots of controversy. That question is, are Indians actually eating enough protein? Let's see what modern medical research tells us. When most people hear the word protein, they immediately think of muscle building or protein shakes or bodybuilders. But medicine looks at protein very differently. Protein is the raw material your body uses every single day to repair tissues, to produce enzymes, to build hormones, to support your immune system. Even healing after surgery or recovering from an illness depends on adequate protein intake. Here's something many people don't realize. From our 30s onwards, we gradually begin losing muscle mass every year. It's a natural process called sarcopenia. The good news? One of the most effective ways to slow down that process is surprisingly simple: resistance training combined with adequate protein intake. So perhaps we need to stop thinking of protein as something that builds bigger muscles and start thinking of it as something that preserves the body we'll depend on 20 or 30 years from now on. Protein isn't about looking stronger, it's about staying stronger. Now, here's where the conversation becomes particularly relevant for India. When we hear the phrase protein deficiency, many of us imagine severe malnutrition. But that's not what we are discussing. The real issue is something much more subtle. Many Indian meals are built around cereals like rice and wheat. They provide energy. No doubt they are satisfying. They are part of our culture. But unless those meals are intentionally paired with adequate amounts of dals, dairy, soy products, eggs, fish or meat, the overall protein intake may still be lower than ideal. Several Indian dietary surveys suggest that a large population of Indians consume less protein than recommended, particularly women and older adults. And remember, protein isn't about just quantity, quality matters too. Animal proteins such as eggs, dairy, fish and meat naturally contain all the essential amino acids in proportion our body can use efficiently. Plant proteins are valuable as well, but they often require a greater variety and more thoughtful planning to achieve the same nutritional quality. The problem isn't that Indians don't eat enough food. The problem is that many of us don't eat enough protein. A full stomach doesn't always mean a well-nourished body. So how much protein do you actually need? This is probably the most commonly asked question. The recommended dietary allowance for healthy adults is approximately zero point 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight each day. But here's something more important. The recommendation is designed to prevent deficiency, not necessarily to optimize health. Recent research suggests that physically active individuals and older adults may benefit from higher intake of protein, often around 1 to 1.2 grams per kilogram depending on age, activity level and overall health. For example, someone weighing 70 kilograms might require anywhere between 56 to 84 grams of protein per day, depending on their circumstances. There isn't one number that suits everyone. Your age matters. Your lifestyle matters, your health matters, which is exactly why copying somebody else's diet from Instagram rarely works. Protein requirements are personal, not viral. So one question naturally follows. If I'm a vegetarian, should I take protein powder? The answer is not necessarily, but many Indian vegetarians may genuinely find it useful. Let me explain. A well-planned vegetarian diet can absolutely provide adequate protein. The science is very clear on that. But real life is different from nutrition textbooks. Many vegetarian meals in India are dominated by rice, rotis and vegetables. Nutritious? Absolutely. But they may not provide enough high quality protein unless they are deliberately balanced with foods such as milk, curd, paneer, dals, soy products, or other protein rich options. This becomes even more of a challenge for busy professionals, people who skip breakfast, who work long hours, who travel frequently, or who eat out often. Meeting your daily protein requirement constantly isn't always easy. That's where protein powders can genuinely be helpful to you. Not because they are superior to food, not because they are magical, but because they are convenient. Think of it this way: protein powder isn't a medicine, it's simply food in a more convenient form. If you're comfortably meeting your protein needs through your regular diet, excellent. You probably don't need the protein powders. But if you're consistently falling short, especially if you're vegetarian, physically active, or simply have a demanding lifestyle, then in that case, a good quality protein supplement can be a practical way to bridge that gap. Don't ask whether protein powder is necessary. First ask whether you are meeting your daily protein requirement. Health is rarely transformed by one superfood or one supplement or one trend. It's shaped by small decisions repeated consistently over decades. Protein is one of those decisions, not because it promises dramatic results overnight, but because it quietly preserves the strength, mobility, and resilience you'll rely on for the rest of your life. The goal isn't to consume as much protein as possible. The goal is to consume enough protein for your body, because ultimately healthy aging isn't about adding years to life, it's about adding life to those years. I am Dr. Karthik. Until next time, make your health decisions based on evidence, not opinion.